Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to Ignite for the contributions to the community. I remember coming back to North Bay and wondering, like what kind of community events were there and what kind of, ideas people had to contribute to grow North Bay, because we are a small urban city, and the struggles that come with that are often not met with too many solutions. But so thank you to everyone that puts on Ignite. It's fantastic that we have this opportunity. So politics are the means to change. What I mean by this is that 75% of Canadians are not engaged politically, and it shows in our polls, and it's a disadvantage right now. So back in 1837, there was the first revolution, as I would say, and this brought ultimately the two unions and into the country of Canada as we see now. Revolution is not frozen in time. We've seen over and over again people believing in something that is greater than them and ultimately pushing forward, such as Martin Luther King and a lot of people that have fought for rights. And to that point, we have Bromley Armstrong, who fought for the rights of workers back in the 40s. We have Viola Desmond, who fought against civil segregation and racial tension. And we have, my favorite is Big Bear, and he fought against Treaty 6, which ultimately was trying to separate and take away the land from the Indigenous. And elections are not about one candidate or one party, but they're about what you believe in and who you think will best represent your values and your beliefs. It is about our past, our present, and our future, because if you do not believe and learn from your past, you will not have a present, and you will certainly not have a future. And I believe this is why, as politicians, we must push innovation to the forefront of everything we do, regardless of the money in our back pockets. We vote because defending our beliefs is more than a social media post. Maybe Barack Obama, foreign influenced this election, we will not know. But a lot of people have died for our right to be able to vote, and I think it is important that we all get out and vote rather than just talking on social media. Because our climate change is also rapidly deteriorating. You cannot argue this one as you look outside, and Nipissing hadn't flooded in about 70 years, and this year was the worst flooding we have seen, with estimated damages around $25 million in North Bay alone. And on that point, I think that there is a lot of solutions out there, but the politicians are the ones that need to put those solutions into play, and it is people like yourselves that vote for these politicians, so please vote educated. Because our education shouldn't come with its own debt collection agency. We should be guaranteeing education and not guaranteeing student loans. Student loans are not growing our economy, and that has been proven time and time and time again. And until that changes, we will not be innovating. You look to countries with free tuition and guaranteed education, and they are outpacing Canadians on the innovation level tenfold. Most of these countries are in the Middle East. Because wages should amount to respect. When I talk about wages amounting to respect, you can say that it should be $15 minimum wage across Canada, but I don't believe that is true. The cost of living in Toronto is much higher than it is in North Bay, so I believe in regional minimum wages, which, as you could see, we could probably get our productivity up in line with our wages if it was based on regional, and this would also help to grow people into smaller urban centers. And because equality does not always equal justice, we've seen that in the case of Colton Bushy and Rodney King, and many times over and over, there is systemic racism within our justice system, and until this is dealt with and people talk about it, we will not see change. And finally, our challenges are all too real. We still do not have water on most reserves. That is past the boil advisory. I think that this is something that we do not talk about enough. I know that there were several leaders that were talking about this, but at the end of the day, in North Bay, I am personally liable for your safe water drinking, but somehow the federal government is not for these Indigenous people. There are solutions. The solutions need to be led by the Indigenous with the support through reconciliation of the non-Indigenous population. And finally, because we are the revolution we've been waiting for, unfortunately, or fortunately, millennials have made up the largest voting population in this past election. I will wait to see what the results come out if we voted or not. I don't believe that we will be at the trend of 2015, so we need to get back up because it is our future. This is why politics matter, and this is why we vote. Thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate it.